Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, 1976's 77, 76, Cherry Hill High. This is Cherry Hill High. Now, on the back of this VHS, it says 1976. On IMDb, it says 1977. And this is a VHS. It says Collector's Choice on the top there. And this is put out by Video Cassette Incorporated MCA. This is the back of the VHS right here. Let's get some great shots there. And Cherry Hill High is a movie that has really not moved from VHS. Now, there's, I believe, I don't know how legitimate the DVD release of it is. You can sometimes find on Amazon. Probably, I don't know if it's a bootleg. But the bottom line is that the main edition that I've seen is this VHS, and since VHS is a dying format and they stop making VCRs, this film could be lost if somebody does not re-release this film officially. Now, it's good that, you know, there are bootlegs of it and that they get DVDs and things like that. I guess that's good because then the movie can exist on a DVD format of some sort. But this is an unknown film, and look at this awesome poster art right here. And this is a VHS MCA right here. This is Cherry Hill High. Let's get into Cherry Hill High. Oh man, awesome movie. Now, unfortunately, the girls that are on the cover of this poster here are actually not in the film. But regardless, the girls on the poster art and the girls in the movie all look great. So let's get into the movie Cherry Hill High, 1976, 1977. Let's move into this. Now, Cherry Hill High is an unknown entry in the teen sexploitation genre area, teen sex comedy, all going into this area here. And it essentially looks at a group of girls from an all-girls school who are taking a bike trip with their instructor, this female teacher from the school. And on this trip, they all admit that they're all virgins. And now the adventure begins where they need to play a game where each girl needs to lose her virginity in the most creative, fascinating way, and the girl that does it in the most creative, fascinating way is the winner. And thus, the adventure of Cherry Hill High begins. And what an adventure it is. You see, a lot of the times people will talk about these films and they'll say, oh, it's just bottom of the barrel garbage. It was just existing to, you know, be at a drive-in theater for a week and make its money back. It's trash. There's no story. There's nothing to it. It's just TNA. It's garbage. Now, you know from watching the videos on this YouTube channel that I disagree with those statements wholeheartedly. I think these movies are masterpieces. I love them. And when I use the words trash, garbage, porn, anything else like that, you know those are always terms of endearment for me. Now, this particular film is R-rated. It is not X-rated. And Cherry Hill High goes into that whole category of films such as Hollywood High and things like that, where it's teen sexploitation types of films with comedy in there as well. And as you're going to see with Cherry Hill High, a ton of diversity. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let's look at the music for this film. Very diverse music in this movie. We have some great pieces of 70s rock, 70s pop rock type music in here that have lyrics and they just sound great. And we also have quite a bit of acoustic guitar work in here. Even one piece, it almost sounds like a flamenco guitar, but a lot of kind of elegance and beauty with acoustic guitar picking and things like that. We also have a piece of hard rock music in the film, incorporating motorcycles. We also have classical pieces in this movie, some famous classical pieces. We also have some horror score. Yes, some late night horror score. Where does that come from in Cherry Hill High, you ask? We also have some nautical music, some underwater type music, and then we also have some science fiction type soundscapes in the movie as well. All of this in here. Where is this movie going? And now we're gonna enter into it here, because you're probably wondering at this point, why all these different types of music in this film? Well, it's really because of the beauty that's the beautiful diversity that is Cherry Hill High, and that is a lot of these films. We also have a live piece of acoustic guitar music as well. Great lyrics in some of these songs, all about the freedom of youth, 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 youth. And that is a beautiful thing. So, Cherry Hill High here, I have some notes that I want to refer to as things drop on the floor. But I'm going to look at the intro credits for this film. Very creative intro credits in this movie, detailing a yearbook. A homemade yearbook with the pictures of the cast, and then a little bit of kind of video on each cast member as we turn the page of the yearbook. So very, very cool opening credits for the film. Now, we have some, there's some great shots in this film of the girls' bodies. Now, the girls in this film, the lead girls in the film, even the instructor, all sexually attractive, all look great. Bodies, lots of legs, lots of thighs, breasts, some butts, things like that. But really heavy duty on just the outfits that they're wearing. They're short shorts and riding their bicycles. So it's just something that's really, really special in those regards. If you like that type of sexuality and that type of kind of the teen girls on the bicycles and their legs and that whole vibe here. And there's a lot more to it in there as well. Now, we have some great lines, some great dialogue in this film, like shake hands and come out humping. What a great line that is. I mean, there's a ton of double entendres in this film. Tons of sexual double entendres in the film. Not explicit with cursing per se, but it's pretty damn explicit with the double entendres. Now, we also have some other great, another day, another lay. What a great line of dialogue that is. Another day, another lay. Where do we go from here? We have sex in a shark tank with a shark in the tank with them. We have some wild sexual talk over CB radio. Eager Beaver. We have a motorcycle gang with a secret in bringing the end of this one girl's virginity. Ryan, what a secret it is. And a girl that you might recognize, somebody you might recognize actually, from a Joe Sarno film, from Joe Sarno Films. There's an interesting theme in this film of virginity being a state of mind, not a physical. Not a state of physicality, but a state of mind. Could a girl lose her virginity having oral sex with another woman, or even being fingered by another woman? We have a haunted house in this movie with a ghost in a coffin. Yes, folks. We have interesting themes in here of science versus the supernatural. We have another great line: a ghost with a heart-on. Interesting themes in here involving the French and the French's sexuality in France versus sexuality in America. We have a sex scene in a race car on a racetrack, a race car that's getting beat up on the racetrack. Interesting kind of connection that's made in the film of wineries being mafia run. Never heard of that before. And there's even a wine fight. Yes, a topless wine fight in Cherry Hill High. A topless wine fight. Spraying wine all over their nubile boobs and everything else in their bodies and outside. And there's also a sex scene amidst a wine barrel in grapes. And there's a bit of romance in some of the sex scenes in this film, and that's one of them. We have a point of view shot in the film as well that comes out in the woods. We have a telephone guy who's trying to get the virginity of one of the girls as creatively as possible. And boy, does he get creative. We have a chicken man and an outdoor game show. Yes, a chicken man and an outdoor game show. You want my drumstick? We have an interesting theme in this film also of sentimentality versus getting laid. And there's something in there as well. Also, romance and true love versus getting laid and what that has to do with sex and your virginity. We have a UFO in this movie. Folks, we have an alien in this movie, and we have a UFO in this movie. We have an insane twist involving that UFO. And we also have a recap as the contest comes to a head at the end of the movie. We have recap, re-looking at certain scenes throughout the film. Yes. And unbelievably gorgeous, beautiful shots on this pirate ship of a boat near the climax of the film. Really, really wild stuff. And quite an interesting ending for a movie that so beautifully gazes upon flesh and legs, knees and boobs. An interesting ending to the film that you would not be quite expecting in a youthful freedom type of film. Thematically, it's a twist thematically, and it's interesting. And some of these films would do that. Some of the themes that I already mentioned previously. And it's interesting to note, in some ways, you wonder if some of those themes were in there to prevent movies like this from possibly being just, thrown away as one of those films. We'll check it out, see how all those themes fly in there. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like, whoa, Cherry Hill High from 1976, 1977. What a beautiful film this is. Here it is, folks. Thank you so much, and please feel free to check out my own personal... Who's that? Please feel free to check out all my own personal films by Googling Apartment 1014 Films, or my YouTube page, youtube.com/poopydiarrhea. Thank you so much, and good night.